Right, hello, welcome back to another video. I'm sorry this one has taken a while, but it was something that I needed to put the real effort into it, to be honest, because this is a very, very important subject. So the video today is about BlackRock. Now, if you've never heard of them, they're a multinational corporation that controls 10.6 trillion dollars worth of assets in America. Now, this is just under management, so they don't own all these things. However, $10.6 trillion is over half of America's gross domestic product, so they are a very large company. Now, they're not the only ones in this sort of sphere. There's companies like Vanguard, but BlackRock is the best one to attack, in my opinion, because it's sort of it it shows how the rest of the world works, sort of, in a way. So one of my main problems that I have with BlackRock is the ESG scores. Now, this stands for environmental, social, and governance, and this is registering basically how good a company is for people to invest in. Where, from my point of view, it is completely about control. It's about monopolies. So one company that I looked at has a score of 24.7, which means it's medium risk, which means it might, have some kind of environmental damage, which I do agree that this company does have environmental damage because the company is Tesla. However, overall, does this company provide a service which is beneficial to the world? Now, obviously, Teslas are very expensive, so the cars aren't exactly accessible to most people. However, they are improving. They are long term improving how we consume fuel, how we, you know, for example, one of the main problems with Tesla is the batteries and the use of cobalt. Now, since the Roadster, they've actually managed to reduce the amount of cobalt used in these batteries. Now, why is cobalt? Why am I just waffling about fucking cobalt? There is uh, basically the mines in Africa that I used to get cobalt are absolutely horrible, like genuinely just horrible. The working conditions are terrible. People will be literally digging with with their hands, and it's just tapped, man. It just is tapped. Like you you know it's not it's just not okay. Anyway, I stop clicking this pen, but it's annoying. Anyways, so what in contrast to that, there is a company that many of you will have heard of, is Colgate Palm Oil. So this is a like a teeth brushing company, like toothpaste and stuff, and they're ninth in the world in ESG scores. Mate, do you know what palm oil is? Do you know how they get it? It is it is one of the most destructive industries in the world. And although Colgate use renewable sources for it, I don't care. I don't care, mate. I don't do if buts and maybes. I do absolutes. Like realistically, any palm oil farms have been there in replacing genuine forests, genuine habitats, genuine where animals are living there. Like realistically, uh, it, obviously there are unsustainable practices in that industry, such as burning down forests, which ends up destroying like the marshland and or the peatland or whatever it's called, which is contains a lot of carbon, which ends up damaging the world. Um, there were fires in Borneo not too long ago that actually ended up spreading as wide as Malaysia and Singapore. Now, these were illegal in Indonesia, however, still happened. And at the end of the day, you're permanently damaging these rainforests. Obviously, rainforests can grow back, but it's not gonna if you're gonna put a bunch of palm trees in there. Now, the reason why I think ESG scores are used is I think it's a way of keeping a keeping a narrative. People will people who speak out and are, you know, don't go along with all of the the thing. Because realistically, from my point of view, um, global warming and stuff like that is, the most important part is protecting the environments themselves and stopping pollution. So whether that be oil going into the ocean, or plastics going into the ocean, or anything like that, I think people sort of focus on just the releasing of fossil fuels and stuff, which obviously is an issue. Yeah, don't get me wrong. However, I think the bigger problem is things like littering. You know, like one thing that I always see is, people are very anti. People are very anti nuclear energy, and it's like, Breb, do you actually know anything about it? Yeah, yeah. Like a couple of years ago, someone messed up in Ukraine, and there was a massive spill, and it did damage the world and shit. But it's like, at the end of the day, mate. At the end of the day, it is one of the most sustainable practices. It actually is. It's bloody raining. Is it raining? Yeah, of course it is. Sorry if that's ruining the audio, but anyways, back onto the actual subject of BlackRock. Now, personally, this is part of the whole "you'll own nothing and you'll like it" model. There is the in my personal opinion, um, there is a movement to restrict people and their ownership of goods, so these private companies can continually sell you something, so you have to work until you die. Now, um, uh, there is sorry, I've got some notes here that I'm just trying to look through. So one thing that I saw from I was watching a lot of videos on this. Now, it was very suspicious the amount of corporate lingo, shall we say, were in some of these videos. Like, for example, I was watching one and it said that shareholders vote to keep board members, and that keeps people in check. However, the asset managers actually get the votes forfeited by the shareholders in most cases. So first of all, it's fucking bollocks, mate. I've seen a lot of videos because I did a lot of research for this, and it is very, 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 very sus. It is so sus because there are so many high production value videos on this, shall we say, um, where they kind of try and paint BlackRock in a good light. It's yeah, you know what I mean, like. And anyway, back on the ESG point, I just want to be clear, right? So, Colgate has a score of 69.32, whereas Tesla is only 24.7. Is there really that much of a difference? No, no, no. That's just bollocks, mate. That just is bollocks at the end of the day. Now, do I think Tesla's perfect? No, obviously not. Obviously not, because I'm not delusional. But what I'm trying to say is that there is a nefarious motive behind BlackRock as a company. Anyways, thank you very much for your time. If you have any comments on what I've said, please drop it, because I love to learn, and I don't think I'm incorrect about anything, because I have actually done a lot of research into this. However, if you think I am incorrect, please tell me down below. Anyway, thank you, like, subscribe, and have a great day.